call the meeting to order. Call the roll.
Mr. Cox?
Here.
Mr. Kella?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here.
Mr. Roosnalis? Mr. Shatina?
Here.
Mr. Strong?
Here.
Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, members of the audience, this is the duly authorized Plan Commission meeting for the month of January 2015. We've got an agenda printed. There are extra copies of the agenda here. There are 3 items on the agenda. We have no requests to move anything up out of order, so we'll start in with the first case. It's an annexation. A115, the annexation of 910 Adler Street, a classification to R2 single-family zoning, and the approval of an annexation agreement. The applicant is Jose Sanchez, is the owner of the property. The requested action is an annexation of the subject property, its classification to R2 single-family, and the approval of an annexation agreement. And the purpose is to allow the petitioner to obtain city services. Currently is an unincorporated Will County jurisdiction. The location is 910 Adler, which is the east side of Adler, just south of Edward. Surrounding land use and zoning: to the north is single-family residential R2, to the south is undeveloped I1, to the east is undeveloped I1, to the west is single-family residential and undeveloped with an R2. Size of the property is 109.75 feet by 130 feet. It's a third of an acre. It currently has a single-family residence on the property. Under under site history, you could find no previous cases. Special information: the subject site consists of a 1-story, 838-square-foot residence built on a basement in 1880. A detached 2.5-car garage is located south of the house. The site is in the A.O. Marshall subdivision on the Joliet southeast side, south of Interstate 80. A site plan and an aerial view are attached to your packet. The petitioner is requesting the annexation in order to connect to city utility service due to a flawed septic system at the site. Joliet Public Utilities has authorized the connection to both sewer and water. The annexation is subject to the city sewer and water tap-on fee. Detachment fees are not applicable in this case because the site was not currently taxed as part of another library or fire district. Community Design Review Board reviewed this matter on January the 2nd, and the minutes are attached, and that concludes this staff report.
Thank you. Could we have the petitioner for this item, please? Hi, could you state your name for the record, please?
My name is David Sullivan. I'm with Eastside Realty at Joliet. This is Mr. Sanchez's uncle, Abraham Sanchez.
Very good. Anything to add to staff's report?
No.
Any comments or questions from the commission?
Yeah, I have a question. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Jim, that piece, David, that piece that sits, what is it, on the south of it? What's that? Take a look at that schematic of the plat.
Jim, could you back up to Dewey? Yeah, here we go.
Keep going to that where it's yellow.
Oh, to the sliver, Joe?
Yeah, what is that about?
That's something we're not involved with.
What is it?
And as far as I know, that parcel is inside the city limits.
Yeah. There's a house to the north that's on that property.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it on there.
Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, there's that, yeah, you can kind of see it. It's kind of a grayish
Oh.
color.
Okay, but there is a house on that.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Is that house in the city?
The one in the yellow that shows up, yes, that would be in the city limits with the R2 zoning.
Okay, which would kind of help answer my question. City, the availability, we don't have to run this very far to get to them.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
Very good. Any other comments or questions from the commission? Any comments or questions from the audience? Hearing none, then a motion is in order for A-1-15.
So moved.
Or second. Call the roll.
Mr. Kella?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Roosnalis?
Aye.
Mr. Shatina?
Aye.
Mr. Cox?
Aye.
Mr. Strong?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 2 on the agenda is A215, the annexation of 24437 Brandon Road and a classification to IT, which is the intermodal terminal district zoning. The applicant is CenterPoint Joliet Terminal Railroad LLC. They are the property owners and developers. The requested action is the approval of the annexation, the classification to the IT, and probably also an annexation agreement. The purpose is to allow further development of the CenterPoint Intermodal Center at Joliet subdivision. It currently is unincorporated Will County agricultural zoning. The request is for the IT Intermodal Terminal District zoning. Again, the location is at 24437 Brandon. It's 5 acres total. It currently is a vacant residential and agricultural property. Surrounding land use and zoning is agricultural to the north, south, and east, all with IT zoning. To the west is a public utility company within the village of Elwood. Site history: on July the 29th, 2008, the mayor and the council approved the annexation, classification, and reclassification, annexation agreements, concept plans for approximately 3,300 acre development, which includes approximately 14 to 18 million square foot of distribution center space and the railroad terminal. On December 2nd of that year, the mayor and the council approved the preliminary, final, and recording plats of the Center Point Intermodal Center at Joliet Phase 1, which included 1,253 acres. No site history exists for the subject site to be annexed. An individual annexation agreement or amendment to the original document is not required due to the language provided in the original annexation agreement for the acquisition of additional parcels. So that, I stand corrected on what the comments I made earlier. Under special information, as part of the original approval, CenterPoint was directed to continue negotiations with adjacent property owners that might be affected by the existing and future industrial development. The parcel in question has been acquired by CenterPoint and will be compiled with their existing holdings for their industrial park expansion and the crude oil pipeline that originates within the transload facility being constructed at the northeast corner of Laraway and Patterson Roads. The approved IT district includes 4 subcategories in accordance with the approved concept plan. The subject site will fall within the Category C, which is the industrial park portion. A proposed 12-inch water main and a proposed 8-inch sanitary sewer main will be located within the 40-foot wide public utility and drainage easement located on the east side of Brandon Road. The future dedication of the easement and an additional 40-foot wide public right-of-way dedication will be completed in order to accommodate public utilities, the pipeline project, and a roadway widening. Community Design Review Board reviewed this matter on January the 2nd, and the minutes of that meeting are available, and that concludes the staff report.
Thank you. Could we have the petitioners on this item, please?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Michael Anson, attorney representing CenterPoint Properties.
Mike, anything to add?
Anything to add?
Any comments or questions from the commission?
Nope.
Hearing none, any comments or questions from the audience? Please come up to the microphone, state your name.
Alejandro Gutierrez, 19544 West Sharp Road.
Yes, sir.
You know, CenterPoint bought all that property up, and I understand, you know, they want to put things out there. What we want the city to do is to follow Romeoville's lead, and any road coming off the main truck route, put weight limit signs on them. I've been here before. I've been downstairs. They tell me that those weight limit signs are illegal for the city of Joliet. So we have a 12-ton weight limit on our road. We get intermodal trucks coming down. We had one a couple weeks ago. He went west on Sharp Road off a bridge. The tracks are closed there. He backed that doggone truck a half a mile all the way down to 53. On part of the way on the parkway because he couldn't back up straight, right?
Right.
With Walter Stern Drive being closed as of the 28th of this month, they're barricading that off. A lot of truck traffic's going to try to get around by going over to Millsdale and bringing that around. And they've got one way or two ways out. They either go down Millsdale to Bridge, go north on Bridge to Sharp, and then take Sharp east to 53, or they go Brandon Road over to Schweitzer and take it. There's weight limit signs on Schweitzer. Nobody patrols it. Now, what we're asking before all this stuff starts going and everything, you know, building more warehousing and everything, Joliet, do your part in keeping the trucks off of our streets. Now, that can't be really too hard to put signs up. I don't know why it'd be illegal. Do any of you know from the planning commission why Joliet doesn't put, you know, weight limit signs up?
Jim?
Well, What roads are you talking about? Because as you know, we can't put weight limit signs on roads we do not have jurisdiction.
You have Millsdale Road up to Bridge, and then you've got Bridge north for about, I don't know, 700 feet to Joliet, and then it becomes unincorporated again.
Right.
There's no weight limit signs there, so that there's a weight limit sign at Bridge and Millsdale going east of 53 on Millsdale, that's
I know.
unincorporated.
And I know that there's a weight limit sign on Millsdale west of the tracks that Warren's.
No, it says 12-ton weight limit ahead.
Right.
It's not the Joliet sign,
Right.
it's to let them know that there's a 12-ton weight limit. There's no place for them to go, so they'll turn up Bridge on the Joliet side and bring it down to Sharp.
Yeah, I don't know the answer, but I'll have our traffic engineer, Russ Lubosh, look into it. Scott normally is here, I don't see him here, but normally he works with Russ, they work in the same department, but I'll take it up with Russ and see if there's anything more we could do.
I mean, because the ditches that were there with them trucks turning, Sharp Road is something like 16 foot wide, and where it goes onto Bridge Street is about 16, and they can't make that corner, so they'll go right out in the ditch line to make their turns. So where we had drainage before, it's blocked now.
Right.
Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. Mike, is there continuity between the intermodal and this piece of property?
Yes.
Okay, I see it now.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, any other comments or questions from the commission? Any other comments or questions from the audience? Hearing none, a motion's in order for A-2-15.
So moved?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Roosnellis? Mr. Shatina?
Aye.
Mr. Cox?
Aye.
Mr. Kella?
Aye.
Mr. Strong?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, the next case up is a vacation. It's V-115, vacation of a 14-foot wide by 115-foot long alley that is not in service, located behind 28 East 4th Avenue. The applicant is the Glory International Harvest Church. They are an adjacent property owner. The request is for the vacation of that unused alley portion, and the purpose is to remedy the existing parking lot encroachment. The area has a combination of B3 general business and R3 1 and 2 family residential zoning. It's located, the east-west alley is behind 28 East 4th. It's an unused public alley. Surrounding land use and zoning to the north is commercial with the B3, to the south is vacant with the R3, to the east is residential with an R2, to the west is the vacated alley portion zoned R2. Site history, we could find no previous cases. Special information. The petitioners wish to vacate the east-west alley in order to clean up the existing parking lot encroachment issue on their property. The existing vacant commercial building on the site has been purchased by the church, which is in the process of converting it to the church use, and I think there's a site plan that would show their intentions. The existing alley has not been utilized as a public right-of-way, and there are no known utilities within it. The Public Works and Utilities Departments, NICOR, have responded that they are not opposed to the vacation. And I believe also that ComEd probably, I think they just recently sent something in that they are also not opposed to it. And no other utility companies have responded. The Community Design Review Board reviewed this on January the 2nd. The minutes are available, and that concludes this staff report.
Thank you. Could we have the petitioners on this item, please?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Bob Ross, trustee of Glory International Harvest Church, and this gentleman is Ernest Bush, deacon.
Thank you. Did you have anything to add to staff's report?
No, sir.
Very good. Any comments or questions from the commission?
I have just a quick one. That's been vacant a long time. You guys do something inside already, or you're gonna do something on the outside, or with the
Yes,
building?
Yes.
yes.
What happens to the acreage, not acreage, but the square footage there? Who gets that?
Well, these guys would be the adjoining owners on both sides, so they would get it all as being part of the petitioner, being the petitioner.
Then they have to maintain it after.
They would have to maintain it, and they're tax exempt, so it wouldn't go back on any tax rolls because the whole property would come off the tax rolls as being exempt because it's a religious institution. I don't know that Whose case was this?
Jim's.
Are we gonna they're gonna pay for the appraisal and the, okay. Normally, our process is we make the petitioners pay the appraisal fee and also on a per square foot basis buy the real estate from us. And, so that's how we're gonna proceed with this one as well. But that's a decision that's made by the mayor and the city council on those things. But that has been our past practice. I can honestly tell you, it's been a long time since we vacated right away to a church, but I think we have done it in the past, and I think we've charged them, but again, I'm not sure of that. I'd have to go back and do research.
What timetable do you gentlemen look at on having this church like you're operational in that?
I would suppose probably in the late spring
Of this year?
of this year, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Any other comments or questions from the commission? Any comments or questions from the audience? Hearing none, then a motion is in order for V-1-15.
So moved.
Second?
Call the roll.
Mr. Roosnellis. Mr. Shatina.
Aye?
Mr. Cox.
Aye.
Mr. Kella.
Aye.
Mr. Moore.
Aye.
Mr. Strong.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes the regular items that we had up for consideration. Next would be the minutes of the meeting from December the 18th. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed, and then a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
We are hereby adjourned. Our filing deadline is tomorrow. I'm not certain if we've got any cases in yet. We've got one now, but as usually happens, filing deadline is at noon, and we usually get a case or two right before 5 minutes to 12. So we expect that we will have a meeting next month.
You give us a cookie after the meeting?
We will. We'll give you a hearty handshake
And a pat on the back.
and a pat on the back. And thank you once again for coming.